True or false? Kicking a student out of your classroom is a teacher version of, let me speak to your manager. I remember Jonathan walking into the principal's office that day. I was an admin at the time, at associate, acting assistant principal, being paid much, much less. Baltimore City Public School thing, I guess. But Jonathan went into Miss Brown's office after he got kicked out of Miss Hayes' room. And Miss Hayes was a good teacher. She tried her best to keep control of the classroom. She would call parents. She would do things that she could within her power in the classroom. And she tried really, really hard to keep some type of semblance of classroom management going in her room. So she definitely tried to call Jonathan's grandmother, but unfortunately, grandma pretty helpless against her grandson. Jonathan was an issue. And on this particular day, Jonathan cussed out Miss Hayes. So Miss Hayes was frustrated and not knowing what else to do. She said, get out. Sent him to the principal's office, Miss Brown's office. Miss Brown, here's what she did to Jonathan. She gave Jonathan a donut from the staff appreciation donuts. It was like remaining from the staff appreciation donuts. She brought donuts for the staff, or someone brought donuts for the staff. Jonathan got one of those. Yes. And she also gave him some candy and sent them back to class. And I'm sure she probably hugged him and said, don't do it anymore. Jonathan, this was like 7th, 8th grade or two. So Jonathan got sent back to class. I had to walk Jonathan back to class. Miss Hayes was furious when she saw Jonathan walking in the classroom with a lollipop in his hand and a big old smile. Very frustrating. Miss Brown, very, very interesting principal. As a rule of thumb, I generally don't kick kids out of class. I just think that you have to deal with me. This is my room. I'm in charge. I have the authority here. There's no one going to save you from me. You have to deal with me whether you like it or not. That's how I look at it because I'm responsible for these students' education. That's my policy. I also don't like sending kids out and them returning with chicken boxes, hot Takis, candy, lollipops, everything under the sun. Baltimore City Public Schools has always been a very strange place. But instead of kicking kids out the room, here are 3 strategies you can try. 1, use your body, proximities. If a child is acting up and he's in the back of the room, move closer to him. Maybe he wants your attention. Well, he definitely wants your attention. Move closer to the student. Maybe have a quiet, candid conversation. Hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Jonathan, what's up? You're making a lot of noise. You good back here? Maybe just not addressing him in front of the entire classroom and disrupting your entire classroom would be helpful. Maybe just addressing him one-on-one. Maybe he's going through something. Maybe he just wants to say something. Maybe he needs to use the bathroom. You never know. So maybe, 1, consider using your proximities. Move closer to the disruption in your classroom. That's strategy number 1. 2, you could use nonverbal signals. You can use a look. After you get used to your students, they understand what looking at them means. Sometimes they just need the look. You'll learn the look as you develop your career. But signals work. You can quick, I see you. A quick, give me 1 second, I'll be right there. Without saying that, just, they get it. Kids get it. Most animals communicate non-verbally. Most humans communicate non-verbally. It is very easy to communicate with that student who is clearly looking for some attention without disrupting your room. So strategy number 2 is simply give a nonverbal signal. Let them know you see them. You're going to give them some attention. You just might need a few seconds to get back there. That's strategy number 2. Number 3, this is my favorite, peer accountability. Sometimes you have a student who's just going to be disruptive. He's just going to talk. He's just going to fuss. He's going to cuss. He's going to drop stuff. He's going to do everything for attention unless he gets no attention. You could ignore the student, but even more powerful, you can get your whole class to ignore the student as well. You can incentivize them ignoring the student. If y'all don't laugh at him, I'll let you stay out for recess 5 more minutes. Something that simple. We'll leave for lunch 5 minutes early. We'll pack up and play this game that you like to play or have more computer time. If you ignore Jonathan today. Imagine that. Now you actually get to give the attention, the positive reinforcement for good behavior. We're ignoring the problem and not giving reinforcement to the negative behavior, which is what you're doing if you're giving screaming, yelling, cussing, fussing. Some of these kids just want you to get out of character. That's just the nature of the game. That's public schools. You have to learn the difference when there's a problem and someone's just looking to disrupt. You have to figure out which is the best strategy for you to deal with it. Use proximities, use nonverbal signals, and always try using peer accountability. Here's one more bonus strategy. Here's what I like to do. I like to call the kid up to the door, not outside the door, but up to the door. I stand outside the door, literally blocking the child from getting out the exit. But he's looking right at me, I'm watching my class, I'm conversing with him. This is figuratively and literally saying, you're not getting out of here, but you wanted my attention, so here it is. And then you have that same conversation, that candid conversation, what's going on? Are you okay? Did you eat? You need to sleep? You tired? What's going on? You didn't do your homework, you need a pencil? It's something simple like that. You can just say, what's going on? What do you need? A child will communicate, for the most part, what they need from you if you approach them in the right manner. And you don't disrupt your class like that. You also get to monitor your class. If you're standing in the doorway, looking at your class, kids right here. Things to think about. Just simple strategies to get you through your day. It keeps you as the adult, authoritative figure. It keeps your power within yourself. You don't need to go call someone's manager, principal. You don't need any help. I got this. This is my classroom. I'm going to deal with this. I got this. This is my classroom. I'm going to deal with. It's a mindset thing. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep kicking kids out? Doing the same thing, expecting a different result? Kick them out, they come back. Kick them out, they come back. Kick them out, they come back with a chicken box. Kick them out, they come back with more sugar. Why do principals always give these children sugary? It just doesn't make sense. What are you going to do? It's your room, the choice is yours, but what are you going to do? Are you going to try some of these strategies? Are you going to try to keep these kids engaged in the classroom? Try it for a couple weeks, let me know, but the choice is yours. So I want to know nationwide, what have you dealt with? Nationwide, different cities, Detroit, Philly, New York. I want to know what you deal with. Baltimore City Public Schools is a wild, wild place. And I say that with a smile on my face because you got to laugh. It's downright silly how kids who you spent all this time writing a referral come back with a chicken box or some hot Takis, or my God, they just have been rewarded for the negative behavior. But some principals just aren't good at their job, but that's neither here nor there. I just want to hear your stories. Let's share them in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. Let people know that they are not alone.